Hello, my name is Isopa, and today I will be doing giant two different reviews against Giant Poison. We're going to be playing. The first one I'll be doing is of the anti-giant deck, which is Minor Poison Inferno against Giant Poison, and then the second one will be a Hog Lightning deck that we'll be playing. Right now, what you see is I actually uploaded my own game tape, to Mastery.gg where I am a coach, and we're gonna be using this game tape review to just try and flush out the ideas of what like what I'm thinking about when I'm playing, what I'm doing, etc. etc. Yep. It was basically a 12-win challenge. I've done multiple 12-win challenges so far and have about 50k cards won. I just wanted to show you guys that this is like legit. It works. The replay, the Giant Poison deck that I'm playing against is the most well, the one I'm sure that you guys been seeing on ladder on challenges, like mostly out of my challenges, I see it maybe 8 out of 12 games. It's the Giant Prince Mega Minion version. I chose this replay in particular because I did not like. I wanted to show you how to play out like a bad hand, how to play out like in this hand. I didn't have either Miner, I didn't have Elixir Collector, I you know, and he has Elixir Collector, so he has all of the advantage. So we're gonna go through this, how I play from behind. Interestingly, like I start off with a Mega Minion, Ice Spirit, Inferno, Poison. I'm looking at the cards. I'm getting Zap next. I know that I'm going to be cycling my cards. The order that I want to be cycling my cards is like you want to drop like the cheapest cards first. You want to drop cards that you don't think that you really need, like Ice Spirit, and then if it hits 10 again, I'll probably play Mega Minion somewhere. I'm looking to poison a pump. I'm looking to get to that collector, get to that miner, so I'm able to be flexible in my decision making. I still don't know like what kind of deck he has. So I see that pump, I drop Ice Spirit, I drop Poison on top of it. With my deck, with this deck, it's so defensive that in the beginning you can actually just go ahead and give Poison to the opponent. Sending like a miner plus a Poison to the tower in the beginning really is risky, and typically I would advise against that. Okay. I see the giant come out. I place down the Inferno. Inferno placement against giant is actually very important. You have to place it exactly on this tile as in the middle as and this is because giant players, like, even though this giant iteration doesn't run cards like Musketeer, you don't know it yet. Like, I don't know it. He could be running Musketeer version, or he could be running the guards version. If you play this Inferno Tower one tile up more, they can drop Musketeer right here, and the Musketeer can shoot at the Inferno while the giant walks in. So you have to be very careful of that. Any other placings of this Inferno, like you can place this Inferno, let's say over here. Oh wait, let's do it like this. This is known as a three. No, wait, what is this called? 4-3 plant, I believe. 4-3 plant, and it's typically used against like giants, golems, like these really big, heavy stuff that comes in with big sight ranges. The downside of that against with giant is that anything behind the giant walks straight to the tower, and the 4-3 plant only pulls the giant in. Against giant poison, you actually want everything to come toward your tower so that you can get more time before these units reach your tower. You don't want them reaching your tower. And besides, anyways, you in these iterations you always have Mega Minion. Mega Minion always walks in like this. So you want as many things coming to your Inferno Tower as possible. So this is pretty much the optimal positioning for Inferno Tower. Almost every single time against Giant. It changes when you lose a Crown Tower, but we could talk about that later. This is like the most standard push that you see right now. Giant Poison, Giant Mega Minion is so strong because of the inability to hit this Mega Minion while the Giant tanks for it. So you see me drop Mega Minion back here. You don't want to be you don't want to be sitting on 10 elixir all the time. I play the Inferno, he poisons it, I drop Mega Minion here. I'm looking to just defend because I haven't even got my pump up yet. And he's going like in on me. If he uses poison here, then I know that if I defend, I can pump up and he can't take out my pump. I also have Miner in my hand, so I can attack his pump too. I also play Mega Minion down here because almost every giant player, every good giant player will be dropping Mega Minion here if they see an Inferno, because the Mega Minion has such a small sight range that it can walk right past the Inferno and go straight for the tower. That's like the danger of the Mega Minion. If you see Mega Minion, if I saw Mega Minion being played at the river trying to go into the Inferno Tower, I would have dropped my own Mega Minion here. You have to mirror his Mega Minion for the most part. Clean up the Giant. He zaps the Inferno Tower, and so I'm in like a tough spot here. So since I know that he just uses poison, I can use my poison. I just know that I want to live here. So I poison everything, slow down the Giant, slow down the Mega Minion. I zapped out the Mega Minion. I clean up the push, and now the board resets. I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay because I was the one who started off with bad hand. So I'm waiting. I'm gonna be pumping up on my stronger side over here. And now this is where the decision making comes in for a minor player. I feel like the majority of the time you see minor players just send out the minor like right now, right? They would send out the minor to this tower, to this elixir collector. And if say they drop the Giant right here, and then like I sent out my miner like this, what happens is that if they just wait a second, the Giant will eventually get to here, and then they can drop down like a Mega Minion. The Mega Minion cleans up the miner. You don't get the collector as you normally would, and then you have to deal with this huge, just another push coming at you. But instead, I just wait. I'm waiting to see like what he puts down. I notice that I don't have zap or poison to influence my attack on his collector. And then something interesting happens here. He drops Giant into the other lane. What does this tell me? This instantly tells me that this is, well, for one, I would say a good Giant player, because he's looking toward this collector of mine. His end goal, he's not actually trying to kill me here. He's trying to get me to spend elixir to defend against this Giant so that he can poison out my collector. He's looking to defend this collector over here and then pump up a second time. So he's trying to get the elixir advantage over me as a Giant player, which is very smart. Like, you should be doing that. You're not going to win against this deck if you just want to brute force your way through. That's not how Giant Poison works against this deck. You have to get that elixir advantage, go into double elixir time, play that second Giant, and then poison everything again. And in order to do that, you have to be either even or ahead against the minor poison. So right now, my actual goal, like, let's talk about like what I want to do from here on out. I'm looking to, one, defend. I dropped the Inferno first because if I'm forced to drop, say, like, Mega Minion at the back and I hold on to Inferno, what happens is that I have to consequently play the Inferno up further so that I can make use of this Mega Minion. And I don't really want to put myself into that spot, so I just play Inferno first. I'm looking to defend this push, And then in the midst of defending the push, I'll be sending out the miner to this collector. If he defends it, he defends it. Then we keep doing it over and over again. But if he doesn't defend it, then I get ahead on a pump. I poison everything immediately. This poison of mine is actually a big mistake. I should be poisoning more downwards like this so that the giant stays within the poison so that whatever he plays coming in stays poison. I disagree with his poisoning of the Inferno Tower like this too. As we said before, if you're going to play giant on my stronger side, it tells me that you're going to be going for my collector. He doesn't actually poison my collector at all. He poisons the tower and the Inferno Tower. So I know that if I send out my miner, or if I can defend this push, I keep a collector, and then I'm gonna send out a miner for this collector. I'm ahead at this point. That's why I poison. A lot of people will hold on to poison and just, sort of believe that they need it on the attack. That you don't. If you in the beginning, all you're trying to do is circumvent the giant. All you're doing is trying to get that elixir advantage from the giant. So I actually do take his collector here. I keep my collector. I take minimal damage from this giant. About, let's say, 700, 800 damage from this entire thing. Now I get 2 collectors on him. This is the perfect spot you want to be in. This is where you want to be in. And remember, like, we started off with a bad hand. We didn't have collector. We didn't have miner. He had collector. So this is how you manufacture advantage, right? You want to defend correctly. You want to be able to access the situation almost on the fly. So I drop Ice Spirit here to cycle. I poison again, and I know that all I have to do is defend this one push, and then I could pump up again or attack, because I am up a pump on him, and he has to I'm forcing him to either poison like this, which means that he's going all in because he no longer has a pump and I can get another pump, or he has to poison like this, and his push that's incoming is much weaker. Giant without poison under it is actually very weak against Inferno Tower. So he poisons this push. Now I know. Well, he does something interesting. He drops guards into the other lane. I've actually started to like this push. You drop guards in the other lane because you don't want, if you play guards here, it just opens up a good poison. But these guards over here distract the Inferno, put pressure on the other lane, and you get to cycle your cards too. So I see this Prince come in. I know that I have to keep this Inferno alive. This is where things get really, really dicey. I see Sir starts dropping a bunch of cards. I have my poison. I'm at 10 elixir. I have all these cards to defend. I'm just looking to live. That's all I want to do right here. I know he's all inning me right now, so I'm going to drop another Inferno. And then I'm looking at these backline troops. I actually should have poisoned much earlier, but I was really hoping to keep the Inferno alive. The Prince takes it out, and this is really tricky here. I poison all of the cards that are in front of my tower. I know that I need to retain as much tower health as possible, but this Mega Minion is coming in clutch. I play the Ice Spirit back here. Proper Ice Spirit placement is actually really important. Ice Spirit, has this 1 second deploy time. If you drop it too close to units like a Prince, it can one-shot it before the effect goes off. You place it a little bit behind, let it walk up, and it'll freeze everything. So the Ice Spirit freezes everything. The Mega Minion cleans up. I'm ahead of pump. I can pump up again, and now I force pressure onto him. This is the point where I say, all right, you pumped up here. I have a pump. I just defended you. I can all in right now. Or I can at least put a ton of pressure onto your right side. Or left side, depending on which one. Like, do you want the pump or do you want to get tower damage? I go for the pump. He misses. Okay, so this is also an important play right here. I send out the miner to the pump. He plays Prince, but he misses the miner. In this deck, when you have Zap and Poison, the other variation is poison and log. But with zap and poison, you're able to make on the fly decisions here. If the prince does not take out the miner, or let's say your miner wasn't caught, then he gets to hit the pump, right? But a unit is on top of him. If you zap it, you can zap the tower, you can zap the pump, you can zap the enemy unit. Your miner will get almost the last hit, completely denying the pump, and you get to cycle your zap, cycle your cards. So that's the reasoning behind that. If say I send out the miner and then his prince caught my miner, then I would poison the pump and I would defend, but I would also get his pump. Like no matter what, his pump is gone. No matter what, his pump is gone. Okay, so I see this push coming out. I see this giant coming out, right? I know I took his pump. I know I'm up a pump on him. This is a dream scenario for me. He can either all in here, right? He can either all in here, which is not guaranteed because first of all, I have an Inferno up. I'm a minor Inferno like defense deck. And if he decides to all in on the left side, then he cannot defend the right side, which means I take his tower. If he defends the right side, then his left side is not as strong. I basically put this giant player into a catch-22 situation here. And this is why you see me just go in on the right tower. Because I know that I can make these decisions. Dropping Ice Spirit at the back helps me cycle the card, and eventually, like the stun, no matter what it is going to help. Whether it stuns a giant on the Inferno tower, or it stuns like a prince, like you just saw. So I pump up to keep my advantage here, keep him on his toes, and then I just all in him on his right side because it's at 500 HP. This deck starts to become really scary once the tower gets below around 1,000, 400, 300, 500, something like that, because miners, poisons will always get to the tower. Miners may not, but like 1-2 hits on the tower is still enough. So I send out the miner for the final kill because like I can just cycle my cards much faster than a giant, and I take the game from that. Okay, so to recap, we played from behind. We played from behind. Uh, our goal was to get up a collectors. It's okay to poison. Like you. The main thing we have to do is keep giant poison pumps down. If we have to play against giant poison with a pump on us, like a lead on us, then most likely like our defense just is never going to be worth it. The giant player will keep on pumping, and the minor player has to just spend too much on defense because the push just takes too much, and eventually one push will make it through. So our goal is to be reactive, take out his pumps, defend using correct Inferno positioning, using correct Mega Minion placings, knowing when to poison. If you know that you are up a pump, like I was, and he's coming in with a huge push, it's okay to poison to keep that pump lead. Most likely the giant has to make two choices. Do I poison the Inferno in the tower, or do I poison the pump at the back, right? Of the back of the tower that does nothing. That means my push isn't going to get through. So you have to constantly force them to make those decisions and knowing when to attack. I know I can attack when say I have a pump on them, a pump or two on them, and then they pump. And that's like the first pump after being behind. I know that I can just drop Ice Spirit, Miner, Guards, Mega Minion, Poison, cycle back to my Miner, and just overwhelm them. If like say they put a pump in the middle in the beginning of the game and you have Miner Poison, just send Miner to the tower, poison the tower and the collector. You won't actually die if you are able to defend correctly using Mega Minion, a Spirit, and Inferno on defense and guards. You can afford actually all of that. What else? And if they put the collector at the back, you can test out, like, say you both are even, send out the miner. If they catch your miner, you poison. If they don't catch your miner, you zap. Easiest way to take out their collector and keep yours. All right. The next video I'll be doing revolves around Hog Lightning, and I hope you guys are excited for that. Thank you for watching. I'm Isopa. I am a Twitch streamer. You can catch me when I'm streaming. I play this deck all the time. And thank you.